Hello family, welcome back to the channel. It's your boy E, the Dividend Passport Bro, back with another video. Guys, today, Monday the 26th of August, have been a good day. Okay, the market rebounded from yesterday losses. It took a minute, but we got there eventually at the end of the day. Even though, right, we are not 100% recover from the losses we had in the previous week, but this is better than nothing. And right, tomorrow we're going to find out how much money coming into the portfolio tomorrow. Right, tomorrow is a good thing. We're going to find out how much money coming into the portfolio, which is going to be amazing. Okay, and I just want to say this, guys. Remember, this is not financial advice. I'm just a 52-year-old man that makes video about my portfolio and my portfolio alone, so do not take this as financial advice. And also want to say thanks to all of our new subscribers, right? We get one or two that gather together every single day. That is amazing. I appreciate that, guys, okay? I appreciate that we're growing little by little, okay? Organically. This is how I like it. I don't want a big swing. And another thing, like I always said in the beginning, right? I don't want to be one of those channels that have 100,000 subscribers and you only got 1,000 people watching the video, right? But you know what? We got 3,000 subscribers and we got anywhere from 50 to 100 people watching the videos. I guess that's okay. But if I had it my way, you know, but I don't know how things work on YouTube. I just make videos to give back, to encourage people to invest in their financial future. So that's none of my business. My business is to provide information to help people, encourage people to invest in their financial future. Okay, guys, so with that said, let's get down to business, because like I said, today business was booming. All right, let me move my mug over here. Now, guys, you can see Microsoft, Google, Oracle was down today, right? J&J was down also. CVS, Home Depot was down. Okay, but on the other side, right, we have Amazon, Nvidia, AMD, Apple, Berkshire Hathaway, JP Morgan Chase, Tesla, Broadcom, Costco, McDonald's, all these companies in the green today, right? And of course, it helps our portfolio because these are some of the companies that we invest in. So it helps the portfolio both ways. And on the other side, we're going to look at that in a minute, is the crypto market, right? The crypto market do good, our portfolio do good. The crypto market is bad, our portfolio is bad. The market is bad, our portfolio is bad. So we need both of these things to kind of coincide together to get our portfolio to be making money. Now, I'm a dividend investor, right? I'm a dividend income investor. Let me add that part there. I'm an income investor. I invest for income, and I have some long-term positions, you know, for long term. But in the immediate, I need money to keep up my lifestyle, to be able to live the life that I live and travel and do all those amazing things that money allows us to do. Okay. Bitcoin in the last hour is up 0.14%. Ethereum is down 0.39%. XRP down 0.60% in the last hour. BNB is up 0.23%. It's pushing $900. This is going to be $900 pretty soon. It's going to be there before you blink your eyes. Solana is pushing $200. It's down in the last hour 0.54%. Okay, and guys, you guys already know that all this stuff here that I've given you guys in the past to use to do your tracking, whatever you need to track. Okay, now if you don't remember this stuff, let me know and I will put it back in the description, right? And you guys can get it from there. Okay, you see, Bitcoin, like I always say, Bitcoin is like the fat man at the buffet, eating up everything. Now Ethereum got a little bigger, but Bitcoin is just humongous, right? And I like this because it's almost like a game. You're gonna play around with it, even though this is real money out there, right? Solana, Shiba Inu market cap $7.40 billion. That's crazy market cap. And then in the last 24 hours, a lot of volume, right? $239 million. Okay, that's crazy. And Ethereum is 552 billion with the B market cap, and it's $500 billion, right? $500 billion, what that would be considered $500 billion, with a 47.41 billion dollars, right? Let me go to where it's be. Okay, so that's $47.29 billion in the last 24 hours. That is crazy, man. And when people say all this stuff is a scam, right? I don't know none of these people that just be talking. I don't know them, right? And Bitcoin, 2.21 trillion. That's with a T market cap. Maybe one day I'll be a trillionaire, but I gotta be multi-millionaire first before I even get to the trillionaire, right? You always gotta be. Once you get somewhere, you gotta be trying to get to the next level. But $47.62 billion, 24 hours. That's crazy, right? Compared to, let's see how much this guy's did. $47.29 billion in 24 hours. So Ethereum is doing something too, right? Ethereum is doing something too. And then XRP, right? The market cap of XRP is $180.12 billion, and the volume, that's a lot, man. 6.9, right? 98, whatever, billion dollars in the last 24 hours, man. Can you, I think XRP is going to be the next Ethereum close to Bitcoin, because this thing in the last year, this thing has been kicking butt, okay? This thing has been kicking butt, and it's coming a long way. Let's go back over here real quick. This thing was like pennies on the dollar, right? Maybe that's not the right word to use, but it was nothing to where it is now, right? Let's do all time. Let's see if it'll pull the right data. Okay, back in 2015, right, when this thing launched in 2015, it was ranked 24. Look at that, right? It will rank at some point 500 something thousand, 2 million, and it just flatlined it until it went up to 86 million. Now, some people became rich right there. Some people became freaking crazy rich, and then it shot up, right, to 70 something cents. If I can get this thing to sit in the right place. That's $3.36, right? And it's pushing that same mark again, right? So that $3.36, that one was at 3 billion. That's crazy. And this thing's already double in market cap. And they got the volume, man. The volume, the thing is doing the volume is crazy. That is crazy. That's back in June. Okay. So guys, I mean, like I said, you do what you want to do. Keep listening to these folks putting some crazy stuff in your ear, right? The digital currency, I mean, it's the way to go, right? It's not at the all-time high, right? I think the new high was this 350 right here. Get up there. The 355, that was a new all-time high. And they're gonna make another all-time high. So you don't want to buy when it's at this, right? You need to buy now before you get up there. I'm just saying, it's not financial advice. Okay, guys. So as you guys can see, the market today, we did a little bit, right? We came back up $21.53, made some money, almost up 1% in the portfolio, and then after hours with another $6.79, and it's still going, right? It can take a dive down, or it can continue to go up, and keep the same energy going forward. And I didn't buy anything in this portfolio today. We did got some dividend coming into the portfolio, like I said, it's not a lot. Small. It's a small portfolio. We got some dividend coming into the portfolio, and of course, we're going to reinvest that money back into the portfolio. As always, that's what we do. Reinvest the money. I'm not really using anything out of this portfolio right now. The goal is to get this portfolio up to the next level. So we just reinvest the money in the portfolio. Okay. I didn't buy anything new in here. I might add one more position to this portfolio, right? But I used to have that position before, and then when I started selling stuff, I think I sold that position out of my portfolio because when I was looking, I didn't see, but I'm not going to tell you guys yet. I'm wait till when I buy it, I'll let you know if I do or not. If I do, I'll let you know. If I don't, then it don't really matter. But for now, I haven't added nothing to this portfolio. This is a slow moving portfolio. This is my daughter's tuition portfolio. So I need to get this account up to a certain amount to be able to cover her tuition for the year. It's $22,000 a year. So this is pretty much what I need, right? So it's a work in progress. I mean, even though her tuition, I'm like, so I'd be like, well, Edwin, how are you paying her tuition now when this thing is still, you need $22,000 a year in income, and this thing is at $2,600? Well, that money comes from my other portfolio because I transferred this portfolio and my old car portfolio into my big boy portfolio, as I like to call it. Okay, and we will talk about that later on when I get to my big boy portfolio. But let's get to the car portfolio. So this is my new car portfolio, right? And I said new car portfolio, but it's still, I already moved this portfolio once because of margins to my big boy portfolio, and this thing is we're only investing in one thing, PLTR, okay? And of course, it's down right now, and there's no dividend coming in from there, so we're just gonna hold on to that. It's just gonna sit there and wait for it to recover, and then we're gonna make our next move. But if it continues to go down, then we're gonna have to sell out of it. But I know it's gonna recover, so we're gonna hold on to it until next month and see how it does when it recover. But this was my initial car portfolio. We had multiple thousands of dollars coming out of this portfolio every month, and I moved this portfolio from here to my big boy portfolio because of margin. So now I only got one margin portfolio, and I love to keep it that way. Now at some point maybe I would change because I'm understanding the game of margin a little bit more. But then if I'm paying a certain amount of money for margin interest, I can have positions in there less than the positions that I'm paying on margins. For me, it doesn't make sense, right? So of course I had to move a lot of stuff around in my margin portfolio and sell stuff and stop. I turned off that drip in my margin portfolio, especially on the stuff that is lower than my margin interest. So I'm not adding to that interest anymore. And when those positions recover, I'm selling out of those positions that is under my margin interest. Okay, if it's the same, I mean, that way I'm not losing money, that's good. Okay, so in my cash management account, right, so this is my new catch-all portfolio. This portfolio is going to be handling my car, it could be handling my daily cost of living, and all of that good stuff, right? So all that, you have people say, oh, I live out of my portfolio, right? I don't want to do that in my margin account, right? I don't want to do that in there. So eventually all of my stuff will come out of this account right here. It make it easy to track for me, and then I can just do my investments in the other portfolio and see what happens. Now this portfolio is still down 5%. Of course, it's a very, very small portfolio. On the day today, like the market is low, this portfolio is up 1%. That is amazing. Okay, and being that it's a small portfolio, of course it take hits differently than the other portfolio, but it's up 1% today, right? That is not bad. I'm happy with that, right? I don't have a single portfolio today that's in the red. Okay, the market turned for the best, and all of the portfolios are in great shape, and there's no kind of a headache going on. So that's where we are. Okay, guys. Now, like I said, this is going to be my catch-up portfolio. This is going to be paying all of my utilities, all of my light, water, gas, at the end of this month, well, next month, I'll be no longer renting in Colombia. God willing, on Friday I'll be closing on my second property in Colombia, and you know, I'll be able to sell at a loss. Well, not a loss. It looks like it's a loss, but it's not a loss because I got that money in distributions, and I still have $5,000, $6,000 left from the distribution. So, I mean, you can call it a loss, but I look at it as I got the distributions. I got $10,000, and I went down six. So, and if I had waited, but never know what can happen. So I just sold out of it because I needed money. So I did that. That's taken care of, and that's done. So now we move on to bigger and better things. That's that pretty much it, guys. So this is where we are in this portfolio right here. There might be a time where I might do two video a day to cover what I have in my portfolio, because you guys, people always ask, what is your portfolio? And if I have to go through that one by one, it's going to take too much time. And you guys know me, sometimes I tend to talk a lot. Okay. And in my Boys in the Hood portfolio, that's Robin Hood, Boys in the Hood. Okay, guys, gotta stay with the program. And we are up in this portfolio also today. I just showed you guys that, which is good. And this thing doesn't update to the best of its ability, but it come close enough. So, it's a work in progress. And this number here, like I said, I'm not sure what this number is coming from, but it is what it is. This is a new portfolio I just started, and it's showing that I have this amount invested into the portfolio. And of course, this amount of money were removed from the portfolio, so I don't know. I don't know. That's why it's showing as down. I have no idea, but just so you people looking at it like, well, how you got $15,000 invested in your portfolio, and you only have 2,500 showing up, right? And your portfolio is down 11%. That math, I don't even know how that math is mathing for me to be down 11%, 11.6%, and it's $13,000 gone. I have no idea, but that's what that is. Okay. But you guys know, I just like to clarify things. People looking at it like that don't make no sense. Why is no? I don't know either. Okay, guys. Now this is my big boy portfolio, just like it's labeled over there. My big boy portfolio. Okay, this is where all the magic happens. Now we're up today almost 1%, right? It's only 1% up here, but it's up. We are up like 2% in this portfolio today, and it's a work in progress, guys. This is what this portfolio. This is pretty much I live out this portfolio. I move money from this portfolio to pay my bills and stuff like that, and eventually I will move money from this portfolio to my cash management portfolio and to my daughter's portfolio, right, for her tuition, because that's what I need to move those funds to build this portfolio back up. But of course I got to get past 60%, and it's a work in progress. So the first step is getting to 55, and then 60%, 70 is the target for now. When I get to 70%, I'll be more comfortable, and I know I'll have more firepower. So just in case we get another dip in the market or things decide to go crazy, I will have that spending money, right, where I can spend money. My boss just sent me a message, some issue with her in the office, but now she's happy. So that guys, so this is where you see things like that. I like to show this because, like I said, at some point, right? At some point, you guys are gonna be seeing my Robinhood portfolio, right? That's it, and you guys will not see this. And at some point, when we get to where I feel like, you know what, I don't need to show that portfolio anymore, I'll just be showing these and then going, because this thing got a lot of information in there, to where I can be going through and breaking stuff down portfolio by portfolio, and they have target dates and stuff like that in this thing, just like the other stuff. It just got a lot more stuff in this thing, and also I was checking to see my portfolio that pay me more money and that I'm losing money on, stuff like that. And so far I only got two portfolios that I'm losing money on, and one is AIYY, two positions in my portfolio, and you guys would be surprised the other one is Misty, but it's not by much. So, but I like to look at it. I like to look at it in here, and then pull the actual information in my portfolio to make sure that they match up, and then I can be like yes, because of course, your boy is eventually going to be selling out of all of these positions for Misty, not Misty, but Yield Max. I'm selling out of a lot of these Yield Max positions. I already did it in my other portfolio. In my big boy portfolio is where we still have a lot of these positions that I haven't sold out of yet. But I've already decided to accept the losses and move on from there. And that's what I'm gonna do. It's just a matter of time to where I'm like, okay. But I mean, tomorrow we'll see what's gonna change in the portfolio as far as income wise. And then I'll be like, okay, I need to pull the trigger on this. I need to pull the trigger on that, and start cutting heads. Okay, it's business. It's nothing personal. All right, guys. So over here, you guys can see the estimated income for all the portfolios combined, right? All of the full portfolio combined. My cash management, my boys in the hood, my car portfolio, and my big boy portfolio. This is just how I call them, so I just name them like that, okay? But it's still doing what I needed to do. We still got income coming to the portfolio this Friday. This is the last week of income coming into the portfolio. So guys, that is amazing that we already over 25,000 in income, even though this thing is showing 27,000, but we over that mark already in the portfolio. Because we over that mark already in the portfolio because I made a lot of changes. I've sold a few things in the portfolio that brought down the income, but not only it brought down the income, but it helped my margin. Now with the last pullback from the market we had last week, of course, that affected me also. But we're gonna recover. It's just a matter of time, right? We're going to recover. Overall, I'm down like 30% in my portfolio, in my big boy portfolio, but it's a work in progress. I've been doing it now for over 5 years, so it's no like giving up, right? There's no giving up. It's going to pop up again. It's no giving up. Come over here. There is no giving up. Okay. The growth in 5 years is 4.89%. I mean, that's not bad for a crazy high yield portfolio. Okay, and this is all the portfolio combined. It's not just one or two. It's all of them. 95.59%, almost 100% yield in this portfolio combined. But I mean, like I said, it's a work in progress. 5 years is the ultimate goal to getting to where we need to get to as far as the income is concerned. $2 million is not bad. I'm gonna just leave that there. $2 million is not bad in income per year, even though that number, if that was to happen, a lot of things with these extreme high yield have to change and be right for us not to be worried and be like, you know what, I need to move money from here, I need to move money out of this account, right? We're going to have what's paying, right? Like I say, eventually the goal is to have my positions paying about 20%. 20% is the ultimate goal for me, my portfolio. So, but having over $400,000 in the portfolio come together, more than $400,000 in the portfolio, and generating 20-30 grand a month, I think that is crazy. That is crazy. And the fact that it happens, and sometimes I sit there and be like, man, I can't believe I can't believe I'm generating this kind of money, right? Coming from generating $2,000 a month, right, to generating 30-something, $40-something thousand a month is crazy. Guys, as always, guys, this is not financial advice. I'm just here to motivate you guys. to invest in your financial future and do what works for you. Okay, this works for me, and I have accomplished so many things in the last 5 years, and this one is bigger than anything else combined because this allows me to retire early, live my best life, and do what I want to do, especially living outside the U.S. You can live anywhere. You can go to Europe, right? You can go to a lot of European countries. What, $25,000-$30,000 a year is a lot of money, right? South America, $25,000-$30,000 a year is a lot of money. And you good health care, good food. The things that we stressed out the most about, those things don't even matter, right? Because you're not stressing about what you're going to eat tomorrow. You're not stressing about what you're going to live tomorrow, because those basics necessities are taken care of, right? You might be worried about your health or worried about your kids or something that you don't have control over. But the little things that you might have a little control over will be taken care of, right? And as I say, when I started this thing, my goal was only $24,000 a year. That was it, $2,000 a month. That was it. I've been coming back and forth to Colombia for over 7 years, right? My job was here before, so I used to come out here every quarter for work. I've talked about this many times. And the lifestyle, the culture, it's just something that I felt I was missing. Because in the U.S., I have a lot of families, but all my families that live apart. And the ones that live close to me, it's about an hour or 2 hours away by car. And because Atlanta is huge, right? And everybody's busy, everybody work. So you can have a conversation, you're like, oh man, we're going to spend time, we'll see you this weekend. And then when the weekend comes, something else happens. Life be lifing. So of course, if you want to be in a situation where you have, non-family members that are like family, this is one of the best places to be, okay? Because when these folks stick to you, they take to you and they take care of you, okay? Regardless of what you hear from anybody else. Now, if they don't like you, you're going to know they don't like you, right? Because the way they're going to treat you, you're going to know they don't like you. And I don't think sometimes it's intentional, but it's just the culture. Okay, guys? But this is not about the culture. This is about investing in your future and being able to live your best life wherever you want to be. Okay, it can be in the U.S. Yes, I can still stay in America and live my best life and don't have to worry about work and worry about money, right? Because what I make in a month can take care of me for 3 months straight in the U.S. What I would make in a month can take care of me in Colombia for 2 years straight, plus maybe 3 years straight, because now my expenses is down. I don't have to after Friday, I don't have to pay rent anymore. Of course, I own the property, so I'm paying what I would have paid to somebody else in the next 5 years. As far as renting, to make up the same amount of money, I will have paid none of that stuff because I already paid it now up front. And in 5 years, if I decide, I don't want to stay here anymore, I can sell the property. Because the only thing I will have to pay is your dues, which is less than $100 a month. Okay? My HOA due in Atlanta for one of my properties there is almost $400 a month. That's somebody's salary over here. Okay? $400 a month. I can pay 7 months over here plus with what I pay in Atlanta for my HOA dues. Okay? Not 7 months. No, it's like $300 something. Yeah, I can pay almost 4 months, plus the 5 months for my HOA dues here with that $350 that I'm spending in Georgia for paying HOA dues. And mind you, that property, when I got that property, the HOA dues, I think it was like $35 or $45 a month. 20 years later, it's $300 something now. Anyway, guys, remember to invest in your financial future. Okay, it can be in the stock market, it can be in rental property, it can be in both. Diversify, because you never know what can happen. So always, I say, diversify. Okay, do a little bit of this. It don't have to be what you like or what you don't like, but it's what's taking care of you. People all the time will say, man, this is not my path. My path is to do this. My path is to make money and survive and take care of my family. Okay, a lot of people that are millionaires, they do things that they love, And sometimes they're lucky enough to do it and make money. And some other people that do things that they don't love, but they make a lot of money at it, and they still have that habit that they love that they don't make no money at. They still do that on the side, but what makes them money, they do that because of that, right? For the money. And then they do that what is stuff they're passionate about, they do that as a hobby. Because now it's not generating income. At some point it might turn to where it's going to generate income. But guys, like I say, you do what you want to do, okay? My advice for today is to continue to invest in your future. That's all I can say. Continue to invest in your future. Because if you don't, you're going to be like these folks out here complaining about, oh, I got laid off and I don't have money to pay my mortgage. Or I'm in the street, I'm living in my car. Or I moved back with my grandmother. Or I moved back with my mom or my dad, right? My car got repossessed because I don't have no money to pay my car note. Guys, you don't want to be one of those folks, okay? And the only way you can change that is to start something. Now, a lot of people say, oh, well, I need to buy a house as an investment. It's okay. But guess what? You cannot use that house until you sell it, until you refinance it. It's not something you can have access to as fast as you need, right? And buying stocks that don't pay dividend, the only way you can have access to that funds is you have to sell. With a dividend investment, it's slower, yes. You get that nickel, that dime, that $2, that quarter, that 50 cents, that dollar. Over time, it snowballs, it adds up. Okay? It adds up. This is how I got to over $500,000 in the portfolio. It's because that nickel and that dime and that money adding up, right? And over time, it make a snowball. I would say the snowball effect. And the snowball, as you roll the snowball, it gets bigger. When you take part of snowball together, that's why they call it the snowball effect, right? So, if you want that snowball effect, and it don't cost a lot. People are like, oh, you need 500,000. No, you don't need that much money to retire. 300K is enough. 300K is enough. And you add some margin risk to that, maybe 20% margin risk to that. Now you have ammunition to grow your portfolio. Okay? I'm not saying go use margin. Please don't do it. Part of the issue I'm having right now is because of margin and not using it properly. But being the kind of person I am, I have learned from my mistakes and I'm recovering. I'm just not moving as fast as I need to be, and sometimes I think that scares me too. I'm like, look, anything can happen. I need to move fast. But guys, you can do it, right? Like I told you guys, I came from $22,000, 23, almost $24,000 a year. My goal was $24,000. I was at $23,000+ when I decided, like, you know what? Maybe I can add a little bit more risk to my portfolio, right? And this is almost a year now, if not a year. It's about a year, a little bit over a year. And I added more risk by buying more extreme high yield positions. I already had the high yield stuff in there, but I got the extreme stuff that was close to 100%. That risk level takes to the next level, right? And within a year, I've gone from $20-some thousand a year to $30-some thousand a month. Okay, guys, I say it's a risk. It's risk involved. Okay, but you do what you want to do. Like I said, the market is up today, so I feel good. I got on my, this is green, but whatever, neon green, whatever you want to call it, shirt, because I want to be in that good spirit, of income coming into the portfolio. And I'm in Colombia, like I said, so it's been positive. Will be by my daughter, and she drives me crazy already. She just under her dad. It feels good to be back with my baby girl, and it's gonna feel even more better when we move into the house next week. We're gonna get the keys on Friday. We're gonna move in next week, and she will be in her own property, right? And it's a process, guys. It's a process. So none of this would be possible if I wasn't doing dividend investing, because I wouldn't have the money, even though I pull this money from my Roth, right? But this is taking care of property. I'm paying with the property, right? And I don't need my Roth to live. That's the difference, guys. I don't need my Roth to live. Okay, I have a regular account that I can live out of, but my Roth, I kind of took away from that snowball because I've taken off a little bit over half of the money, $65,000 I pulled from my Roth, and I still have to max out the portfolio. So at some point I need to max it out before the end of tax season. Before tax, we'll do our taxes. I have to max it out, right? So when I max it out, it's going to take me back over that 50% mark in the portfolio, and you know, it is what it is. But you know, like I say, I don't need this money to live off of it when I'm 59 and a half. I don't need it, right? It's only going to add stuff I can use, and it won't hurt. I mean, an extra $2,000-$3,000 a month. It won't hurt because it's going to be generating that in the next 5 years, right? In the next, what, 5 years? No, I'm 52 now. I got to be at 59. So in the next 7 years, that's enough time. Can you imagine what's going to happen in 7 years from now, right? That thing going to be over probably $500,000 in that portfolio, God willing, because of the way I invest, right? My strategy, and the fact that I don't need that money. I don't have to risk it all. I can risk a little bit of it to grow it like I've been doing. That's why it grows so fast. That's why it has grown so fast right now. Okay, guys. Now, like I said, I'm talking too much. We're getting to where I've done enough for the day. So I want to say thanks, guys, for watching. Remember to like, share the content, subscribe to the channel if you haven't yet. Subscribe to the channel as we work our way up to 3,000 subscribers on this here interweb. I appreciate you guys, and I want you guys to have an amazing day. Tomorrow we're going to see how much money coming into the portfolio, and we're going to go from there. So have a blessed day. Deuces.